The sky above Seoul turned an unnatural shade of metallic gray as massive alien ships emerged from hyperspace, their silhouettes blocking out the morning sun. Captain Jun Park stood motionless at the window of the Earth Defense Command Center, watching the unprecedented invasion unfold. The first wave of Krell battleships descended with surgical precision. Massive energy weapons carved through city infrastructure, reducing modern skyscrapers to molten debris in seconds. Seoul's bustling streets transformed into chaos. People running, emergency sirens wailing, military vehicles racing through damaged boulevards. Jun's communication device buzzed constantly. Reports flooded in from every major city on the planet. New York, London, Tokyo, Moscow, all under simultaneous attack. The aliens had planned this invasion with calculated brutality, targeting critical infrastructure and military installations with remarkable efficiency. "They're not random," Jun muttered to his second-in-command, Lieutenant Kang Min. "These attacks are strategic." The Krell battleships moved with mathematical precision, each strike calculated to maximum destructive potential. Military bases, communication centers, power grids, all systematically neutralized within the first hour of engagement. Global defense systems initially seemed powerless. Traditional weapons barely scratched the alien ship's advanced energy shields. Missile systems failed. Jet fighters disintegrated mid-air when attempting close-range attacks. The technological gap seemed insurmountable. Inside the underground command center, holographic displays showed real-time damage reports. Red markers spread across continent maps like aggressive viral infections. Entire metropolitan areas went dark. Communication networks collapsed. The invasion was textbook, swift, overwhelming, designed to create maximum psychological devastation. Jun watched as his team worked frantically. Young military analysts, some barely out of their technical training, struggled to understand the alien attack patterns. Their fingers danced across quantum interfaces, trying to decode the invaders' strategies. "We need a pattern," Jun announced. "They're methodical. Every invasion has a weakness." Lieutenant Min pulled up satellite imaging. The Krell ships moved in synchronized formations, each maintaining exact geometric distances. Their movements suggested a rigid, almost algorithmic approach to warfare. No room for improvisation. No flexibility. And that would become their fatal mistake. Initial casualty reports suggested millions dead within the first 3 hours. Major cities reduced to smoking ruins, governments caught completely off guard. The global communication infrastructure, once humanity's greatest strength, now lay in fragments. But beneath the destruction, something was brewing. Human beings possessed an extraordinary capacity for adaptation. Where other species might have collapsed, humans began reorganizing. Military units regrouped in underground facilities. Scientists started analyzing captured alien technology. Engineers began designing countermeasures. Jun observed his team. Young faces showed determination, not fear. They understood something fundamental. This was not just a battle. This was a test of species survival. The Krell believed they were fighting a straightforward conquest. Destroy infrastructure, eliminate resistance, claim territory. Their previous galactic conquests had followed similar patterns. Technologically superior civilizations rarely encountered meaningful resistance. They had never met humans. As alien ships continued their systematic destruction, small pockets of human resistance emerged. Military units using unconventional tactics, scientists rapidly developing technological counters, communication networks rebuilding themselves through decentralized systems. The invasion's first day ended with humanity bloodied but unbroken. Major cities lay in ruins. Millions had perished. But the species' core remained intact, its adaptability, its collective intelligence, its unexpected resilience. Jun looked at the holographic displays, the red markers showing alien positions, the damaged infrastructure, the potential paths of destruction, and he smiled. The Krell thought they were conducting an invasion. In reality, they had just awakened humanity's true potential. The first contact was not going according to alien plans. Not at all. In the depths of a hidden underground research complex, Dr. Hai Kim worked with an intensity that bordered on obsession. Scattered around her workstation were fragments of alien technology, pieces recovered from the first wave of destruction. Complex metallic components glimmered under harsh laboratory lights, each piece a potential key to human survival. The research team worked in near silence, their fingers moving quickly across advanced holographic interfaces. Outside the reinforced walls, the world continued to burn. But here, something remarkable was happening. Within hours of the initial invasion, global scientific networks had begun unprecedented collaboration. Military research centers, university laboratories, and private technology firms shared every scrap of data in real time. The traditional barriers of competition and national secrecy dissolved in the face of species-level threat. Hai examined a small triangular component recovered from a destroyed alien reconnaissance drone. Its material composition defied current human understanding. A quantum adaptive alloy that could change molecular structure in response to environmental conditions. "We're not just analyzing," she whispered to her assistant. "We're learning." The first breakthrough came unexpectedly. A team in Berlin discovered that the alien energy weapon systems used a specific quantum resonance frequency. By understanding this frequency, they could potentially develop adaptive shielding technology. In California, a group of young engineers started reconstructing alien communication protocols. What seemed like complex, incomprehensible signal patterns slowly revealed themselves as structured communication systems. Each decoded signal was a weapon against the invaders. The military research teams worked differently from traditional scientific approaches. Instead of pure research, they focused on immediate practical applications. Every discovered alien technology feature was immediately tested for potential weaponization or defensive capability. Jun Park, now coordinating between military and scientific teams, understood the critical nature of this moment. Humanity's survival depended on speed, not just scientific understanding, but rapid technological adaptation. Prototype energy weapons began taking shape. They were nothing like traditional human weapons. These were hybrid systems, human creativity merged with alien technological principles. Quantum entangled targeting systems, adaptive energy dispersal mechanisms, weapons that could think and adjust in milliseconds. Communication networks transformed. Traditional satellite systems were vulnerable. The new networks were decentralized, self-healing systems inspired by the aliens' own communication technologies. If one node was destroyed, the entire network would automatically redistribute and continue functioning. Dr. Kim's team made another critical discovery. The alien ships, despite their advanced technology, operated on a highly structured command hierarchy. Their technological systems, while sophisticated, lacked true adaptive intelligence. They followed predetermined protocols with mechanical precision. Humans, by contrast, could improvise, could think sideways, could break rules. Small testing chambers within the research complex became battlegrounds of innovation. Captured alien drone components were carefully dismantled, studied, and then reconstructed with human modifications. Each test revealed new possibilities. The global scientific community worked like a single massive brain. Research centers in Japan shared data with teams in Brazil. Scientists in Russia collaborated with researchers in Australia. National boundaries meant nothing anymore. This was a species-level response. Military training centers began integrating the new technological insights. Soldiers learned to work with adaptive weapon systems. They trained in strategies that emphasized unpredictability and creative thinking. Weeks into the invasion, something remarkable happened. The first human hybrid ships began rolling out of secret shipyards. They looked nothing like traditional spacecraft. Sleek, adaptive, capable of maneuvers that defied previous understanding of physics. Hai Kim watched the first test flight of one such vessel. Its movements were liquid, almost alive, a perfect blend of human creativity and alien technological principles. The Krell had invaded expecting a straightforward conquest. They had no idea what was coming. Humanity was not just preparing to defend itself, it was preparing to strike back. And the counterattack would be unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The night was cold and quiet when Captain Jun Park received the final activation signal. Months of preparation, countless simulations, and unprecedented global cooperation had led to this moment. The human counterattack would begin. Across the planet, specially trained military units moved with calculated precision. They were no longer traditional soldiers, but hybrid warriors, part human, part technological marvel. Each soldier carried adaptive combat systems that could read and respond to battlefield conditions faster than any previous military force. The Krell had made a critical mistake. They believed their initial invasion had broken human resistance. They thought the scattered remnants of Earth's military were defeated. They were wrong. Synchronized attacks began simultaneously across multiple star systems. Human hybrid ships, developed in secret underground facilities, emerged from hidden jump points. Their movement patterns were nothing like traditional spacecraft. Fluid, unpredictable, almost organic in their approach. In the communication centers, advanced AI systems predicted alien response patterns with terrifying accuracy. Every Krell tactical decision was anticipated, mapped, and countered before it could be fully implemented. Their rigid military structure, which had conquered countless civilizations, became their greatest weakness. The first strike targeted the aliens' primary supply lines, not with traditional weapons, but with sophisticated quantum disruption technologies. Communication networks collapsed. Energy distribution systems failed. The Krell found themselves suddenly blind and disconnected. Jun watched the holographic displays, his team working in perfect synchronization. They were no longer just defending. They were hunting. Strategic points across alien-controlled territories were hit simultaneously. Each attack was designed not just to destroy, but to create maximum psychological disruption. The Krell command structure, which relied on strict hierarchical communication, began to fragment. Intelligence gathered during the initial invasion proved crucial. Human researchers had studied alien communication protocols, understanding their technological and psychological limitations. The counterattack exploited every single vulnerability. Disinformation campaigns spread through alien communication networks. False tactical information deliberately planted communication errors. The Krell began to doubt their own intelligence systems. Trust within their military ranks started to crumble. In space, human hybrid ships moved like living entities. They didn't follow traditional combat maneuvers. They adapted. They predicted. They responded to threats before those threats could fully materialize. Junior officers in the Krell military began questioning their commanders. Strategic reports seemed increasingly contradictory. Communication channels became unreliable. The once perfect invasion force started showing cracks. Earth had transformed from a defensive position to an offensive powerhouse. Every technological limitation became an opportunity. Every destroyed city became a lesson in adaptation. The human counterattack was more than a military operation. It was a statement, a declaration that humanity would not be easily conquered. Satellite imaging showed the first major breakthroughs. Alien defensive positions were systematically dismantled, not through brute force, but through intelligent, adaptive strategies that the Krell could not comprehend. Dr. Hai Kim's technological innovations played a crucial role. The adaptive communication systems allowed human forces to move and communicate in ways the aliens could not track or understand. Each military unit functioned like a living, thinking organism. As the counterattack progressed, something fundamental changed. The Krell were no longer the hunters. They had become the hunted. Jun Park allowed himself a slight smile. Humanity had just rewritten the rules of galactic warfare. The counterattack was working, and it was only the beginning. The space near Mars transformed into a battlefield unlike any the galaxy had ever witnessed. Hundreds of human hybrid ships emerged from quantum jump points, Their designs a perfect blend of captured alien technology and human innovative spirit. Captain Jun Park commanded the Earth Defense Fleet from the flagship Resilience, a vessel that looked more like a living organism than a traditional spacecraft. Its hull shimmered with adaptive quantum reactive materials, capable of changing molecular structure in milliseconds. The Krell fleet initially appeared overwhelming. Massive battleships stretched across multiple star sectors, their metallic surfaces reflecting cold, calculated preparation. They had conquered civilizations for centuries. They expected another easy victory. They were monumentally wrong. Human ships moved with impossible fluidity. Where alien vessels followed strict geometric formations, the human fleet danced. Each ship seemed to communicate telepathically, anticipating threats before they materialized. Quantum-linked AI systems processed battlefield conditions faster than biological intelligence could comprehend. The first wave of Krell attacks seemed devastating. Massive energy weapons carved through space, expecting to obliterate human defenses. But human ships didn't just defend, they transformed. Adaptive shield technologies absorbed incoming energy, redistributing destructive forces across molecular matrices. Attacks that would have obliterated traditional spacecraft merely caused slight electromagnetic fluctuations in human ships. Jun watched the holographic battlefield display. His team worked with machine-like precision, yet with distinctly human creativity. They weren't just fighting. They were reimagining warfare. Smaller human vessels darted between massive Krell battleships like quantum-powered mosquitoes. They weren't trying to destroy through brute force. They strategically disrupted communication networks, created localized energy disturbances, and introduced systematic confusion into alien battle strategies. Dr. Hai Kim's technological innovations became apparent. Each human ship contained adaptive AI systems that could learn and modify battle tactics in microseconds. The Krell's rigid command structures became their greatest weakness. Space itself seemed to bend around human technological capabilities. Ships disappeared and reappeared, not through traditional faster-than-light travel, but through quantum probability manipulation. The Krell targeting systems couldn't track or predict these movements. Entire Krell battle groups found themselves suddenly isolated. Communication networks collapsed. Navigation systems became unreliable. The perfect invasion force started fragmenting from within. Human pilots weren't just flying ships. They were conducting a complex, living symphony of technological warfare. Each movement calculated, each decision adaptive. The line between biological intelligence and technological systems blurred completely. Massive Krell command ships, which had dominated galactic conflicts for centuries, began falling, not through direct destruction, but through systematic, intelligent disruption. Their own technological superiority became their fatal vulnerability. Jun understood something profound. This wasn't just a battle. This was humanity's declaration to the galaxy, a statement that technological superiority meant nothing without adaptability, without creativity. As hours passed, the battlefield near Mars transformed. What started as an alien invasion became a human technological renaissance. Each destroyed Krell vessel represented more than a military victory. It represented a fundamental shift in galactic understanding. The human fleet didn't just fight. They evolved in real time. They learned. They transformed. By the battle's conclusion, the Krell fleet was reduced to scattered, confused remnants. Their once perfect invasion force had been systematically dismantled by an enemy they never understood. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and they had arrived with a message. We are not just survivors. We are architects of our own destiny. The space near Mars fell silent, but the message was clear. The galaxy would never be the same again. The final confrontation happened in the cold silence of deep space, where remnants of the Krell invasion fleet made their last desperate stand. Captain Jun Park watched from the bridge of the Resilience as humanity's technological might prepared for the ultimate resolution. Krell leadership, once confident in their galactic supremacy, now understood true fear. Their communication networks had collapsed. Their strategic systems were compromised. Decades of technological dominance crumbled in mere weeks against human adaptability. The remaining Krell commanders transmitted a final communication, a mixture of desperation and disbelief. They requested negotiations, something unprecedented in their centuries of conquest. Humanity had done what no civilization had ever achieved, completely dismantling their seemingly invincible military structure. Dr. Hai Kim's technological innovations played the final crucial role. The adaptive quantum communication systems developed during the conflict now allowed unprecedented levels of strategic manipulation. Human forces could predict, interrupt, and redirect alien communication with mathematical precision. Satellite tracking showed the Krell fleet breaking apart, not through direct destruction, but through systematic psychological and technological disruption. Their rigid command structures, which had dominated galactic conflicts for generations, became their ultimate weakness. The battle was less a traditional military engagement and more a complex dance of technological innovation. Human ships moved with liquid grace, their adaptive AI systems learning and responding faster than biological intelligence could comprehend. Jun understood this was more than a military victory. This was a fundamental shift in galactic power dynamics. Humanity had proven that technological superiority meant nothing without creativity, adaptability, and collective intelligence. Global communication networks broadcast the unfolding events. Cities that had been destroyed during the initial invasion now watched their defenders achieve the impossible. Millions who had lost everything witnessed humanity's remarkable transformation. The Krell leadership's final transmission was telling. They didn't ask for mercy. They requested understanding. How could a species they considered primitive demonstrate such technological and strategic brilliance? In the underground research facilities, scientists and military strategists celebrated quietly. This wasn't just a victory. This was a renaissance. Humanity had rewritten the rules of technological warfare. Diplomatic channels opened, not as a defeated civilization seeking terms, but as a species demanding recognition. The galactic community would now understand that humans were not just survivors. They were innovators, adapters, creators. Dr. Kim's research teams began analyzing captured Krell technologies. Each fragment represented not just a weapon, but a learning opportunity. The same adaptive spirit that won the war would now drive technological evolution. The final Krell command ship surrendered without a shot fired. Its communication systems simply went dark, signaling complete technological defeat. No dramatic explosion, no last-moment heroics, just a quiet acknowledgement of comprehensive defeat. Jun Park looked at his team. Young faces showed not triumph, but determination. They understood this was not an end, but a beginning. Humanity's first step into a larger, more complex galactic landscape. News networks around the world broadcast the victory. Cities that had been reduced to rubble during the initial invasion now celebrated the human spirit. Adaptable, resilient, innovative, had proven itself on the grandest possible stage. The Krell invasion had intended to destroy humanity. Instead, they had awakened a sleeping technological giant. Global celebrations erupted, not just of military victory, but of collective human potential. Scientists, soldiers, engineers, everyone had played a role in this unprecedented defense. Alien civilizations watching from distant star systems understood a fundamental truth. Humanity was not just another species to be conquered. They were a force to be respected, understood, potentially feared. As communication systems restored global networks, a new chapter in human history began. The invasion had cost millions of lives, had destroyed countless cities, but it had also revealed humanity's true potential. We are not just survivors, the message was clear. We are architects of our own destiny. The galaxy would never be the same again. Humanity had arrived. Retriclaude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses. 3.5 Heiku.